Hello there, I'm back. Beard check. Sorry, no lumberjack shirt. It's got to be in the wash. Got to get it done sooner or later. So today is obviously the report of my undercover thing that I did yesterday that I posted about. I went to one of these job fairs, and as I said on my video yesterday, it's regardless of what the marketing bump says, it's a are you made redundant? Do you want to change your career? Are you a star? It's like trying to say all's welcome. I always had in my gut inside, it was for entry level stuff. So let's take it from the beginning. Great venue, Edgbaston Cricket Ground, very nice where they put it in on the second floor. Extremely well run. Everyone was let in via QR codes on a pre-booking, so that was good. Security there, very clean. Everyone was friendly, directing which way to go. Got to the secondary lobby on the second floor. Quite surprised. I was only expecting about 10 to 15 companies there. It was more like about 35 or 40. So let's see how they were split up. First, there was a couple of recruiters there, some from the hospitality industry, and a lot of temporary recruitment companies looking for people because of geographical reasons. People to work in the Commonwealth Games that are happening in Birmingham because it was at the Birmingham one in Edgbaston Cricket Ground, as I said. There was quite a bit of security. There was also some recruitment agencies from construction looking for like labourers and things. But then were also the secondary group that were there were a lot of, I don't know how you categorise these, like educational groups that if you sign on to do their IT course or their bricklaying apprenticeships, obviously they're getting money off the government. They've been sponsored. There was quite a lot of those there. The military was there, army, police were there, and I'll say about my talk with the police force was actually really friendly. Actually, they're so for me personally, it was to see can someone get traction in an executive role in a job fair, and I am very forward, very talkative, not shy in the least, so I'm very sales orientated anyway, so it's going to be quite easy for me. If you're more of an analytical, structured, very kind of non-diverse, very down the line type of executive, I think you'd find it really hard. So from my personal point of view, I'll probably try and avoid something like this. It's one big retailer there, I don't name and shame, let themselves down so bad, and I'll be honest. What happened? I went up to them and said, "Oh, I said you are so and so." I says, "I'll make sure I got the brand right. You're the retailer that does." And they said, "Yes, that's us." And they said, "But we also have." And this woman stepped forward, went to some of the things the business did. Oh, that was great. I really appreciate you telling me that. And then I says, look, I'll be brutally honest. I'm not here for entry level stuff, which is what it seems that most people have here. I says, I'm more interested in and went through a few things. So really quick about my background. And I says, look, I know you guys won't be able to talk to me about this type of thing, but what I'll do is I've got my own QR code here. So I had on my phone, I've previously done QR codes that are connected to CVs. Within the CVs is embedded code with embedded videos, so I can track who's watched it, who hasn't watched it, and for how long, or if anyone's watched it and for how long. And I've been doing that for quite a while now. It's very interesting to see what happens to your CV and how many people do and do not look at things recruitment agency and hiring manager wise. And there's one particular recruitment agency that I've had a small conversation with that literally it's the data I pull from is quite bad. But we'll move. That's a discussion for a different day. And when I've collated a lot more data, we'll talk about it. Um, so I said to them, I says, look, here's my QR code, scan it, you have my details, please, remember me, I'll brief about my background. And someone else stepped in then and said, no, here's our QR code and you send us your CV. And I says, oh, great. I says, I'll send it direct to you or so you know who I am. No, it will just go to the whoever's the human resources. And I says, well, I'll be honest with you. I says, I'm pretty sure I'll just get booted by ATS and no one will remember who I am. That's really the point of why I came to a job fair, so you know who I am. And she went, yeah, that's probably what will happen, yeah, and just walked off. So I'm like, oh, well, that was particularly good. So I went to we'll call them a hospitality retailer, for want of a better word. Had a quick chat. Really, I was I was not hopeful at talking to them, but I was really friendly to them. I actually used them. I said, oh, you're so and so. I love your products. So I buy them regularly. And I says, oh, you've diversified slightly. I think it's really cool. Well done. And I had a list in front of the jobs that we're trying to fill. Front of house staff, cashier, and stuff like that. And I says, unfortunately, this is not me, but this is what I do. It says maybe I could just pass my details on to you. And I said, you can see, no, we're not really looking for that right now. Just blanked me. So okay, fair enough then. Another group that were there, I wish I could remember the name. Uh, they were one of these coaching, help you get a job type of thing. But what was really good about them, and that actually stopped me, is because I always, as by the video yesterday, you'll see, and I'll post about it as well. Because of my beard, I have to be very groomed, and I very, very dress very well when I'm in face to face in real person on the video. But I've dressed extremely well. I've always been a point of pride for me. And this group are a coaching group, but they also offer you, if you can't afford it, formal clothing, and they actually have a designer that will design the perfect outfit for you for that particular role, which I thought was really good. They do 1 hour sessions with you. I assume it's government backed somewhere. So after a long discussion with them, look, I'm not looking for this, but what are you doing? I'm interested because you're one of the few people who's actually friendly to me today. I mean, hardly anyone's friendly to me because I'm 6'2" with a beard. I don't know, but they introduced me to their CEO, because what was really, really cool is they actually rely a lot on charity, and they're struggling to find formal clothing for larger men. So I sat down with them and explained about my background in the rag trade, and also because I started up the world's first online made to measure formal clothing company, how that particular part of the industry works, and who will be suppliers and manufacturers they could get that stock for free. So there's a distribution company based out of Hong Kong and big operations in London. There are a couple of big and tall specific retailers, and explain how you do categories of production runs. So those production runs, you can actually peel off some stuff afterwards at the end of stock, and they'll probably be able to give it to you straight away. So they're working on that, and I was really, really happy to try and help them out, because it's a really good idea helping people with their clothing on top of the coaching. So that was great. So spoke to the police force. They were really good, actually. I mean, when I was a child and I was at school, it was one of the things. Oh, I've got to have a cup of tea. Excuse me. Yes, it's a Star Wars mug. When I was at school, I wanted to be a policeman, but because of my dyslexia, which I've now got over, by learning a different way of doing everything myself, I couldn't go. It was just like it was a barrier. They were really helpful, really, said please come on board. It'd be really interesting in terms of it's more than just a common constable and officer and control. There's other things that the police force do, and it was a real genuine eye opener. I was very happy with them. The military were a bit standoffish whilst talking to me, but I suppose I'm a bit old for doing the 6 weeks basic, even though they can't say no because of my age. I think it would probably kill me, no matter how much I go to the gym, because my cardio is not that good. And then the final one, which was made the whole trip worthwhile, and I I will speak about them later on, because I've actually got an interview with someone. Uh, they're to do with hospitality. Oh no, I forgot one. Amadeus. For those of you in the travel industry, you know Amadeus is a airline ticketing booking system. And those at Amadeus, they had pictures of chefs. So I went over to them and said, Amadeus is the booking system. I know that British Airways use it, Turkish Airlines use it, Gulf Air use it. I went through. I said, I know what the system is, but what's the chefs? Oh no, we're Amadeus. We're nothing to do with them. But she'd never heard of Amadeus. Says we are a catering company. I said, oh, that's good. Spoke to them, and I said, oh, here's my QR code from my hospitality industry. Explain what it was. She goes, can you email it to me? And I says, there's no need to email it. So just scan it right now. And you got a copy of it. And you said, no, I want to email it. So I emailed her the QR code. You see, everyone I spoke to was really quite shocked that someone actually went to the next level. So, I went there formally dressed. I went there well groomed. I went there and introduced myself. I specifically had created individual CVs for individual industries with a QR code that they can just scan and have a copy of it and go through it there and then with me, or use for later on. So back to the final company. They're in the corner. They're actually quite a large. They're a large concern, and they have a hospitality arm. And even though I am hospitality, I'm not specifically hospitality. I'm consumer general and tech. Um, and I was looking, I said, oh, you're so and so. I said, I've actually used you guys before. You were in, and I mentioned a few places I know they are. And they went, yeah. And I said to a couple of people on the desk, I says, look, this is my background. This is what, and I felt this big tap on my back, like a big bang. And he says, hi, he says, and he tried to say a really bad pun joke, and I took the mick out of him for his really poor quality uh, comedic sentences in the middle of a formal discussion. And he was a really nice man, and he just says, right, I heard what he said. He goes, we should have a talk together. And I says, oh, who are you for? And he goes, oh, and pointed at the, oh, so you're with these guys? And I said, oh, well. I said, great. He says, yeah. He says, you're free on Friday, 1 o'clock. And he says, here's my QR code to book a meeting. And I went, no, here's my QR code for the CV to do with this particular role. And it was, oh, wow, that's really good. You bothered to do that. He says, we've never seen someone do that before. I said, well, of course, I'm trying to look the best I can. I'm a senior candidate. So I think outside of the box. I'm innovative. That's just what I do when I work with people. And he goes, well, that's so good. And he scanned my QR code and he goes, wow. I said, oh, there's videos on it. I said, yeah, of course. I produce videos to put on there to jump the hurdles of interviewing recruitment. What you guys do so difficult. Says, let's narrow it down. Let's make it easier. So you see me. Here I am. You've got a video. I answer all the questions. You tip all the stock questions you get in interviews to make it easy for you. And he's like, that's really great. So yeah, really looking forward to the call tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Well, tomorrow now, because the next day, so it was Friday, 1 o'clock. He was brutally honest with me. He hasn't got anything right now. He's in charge of all Western Europe. Uh, or Western Europe for that company. It's multiple brands for human resources. He says, but yeah, we're going to have something. So let's have a talk. Let's see what we have now. Let's see what we can do. And it just made the whole day worthwhile. So the overall of the entire thing is entry level. I think it's great. I mean, anyone that's just looking for it or changing as well. Let's say, for example, you're in recruitment, okay, and you just want to get into bricklaying or data entry. There are a lot of companies offering training courses in STEM fields as well. Quite a few of them. Or let's say you're in banking. You're a cashier and you want to get into security. A lot of people offering security starting jobs. And what was also quite good, what I liked about it, is that a lot of the entry level positions on their lanyards or on their big advertisements, they say, well, I'm so and so, up so and so, starting rates you will earn. Or on the big advertisements, it says, come work for us, we'll guarantee minimum £12.50 an hour. And it's kind of like, it makes you feel, if I was going for an entry level position, like, oh wow, I'm going to get 12.50 an hour straight away. And a couple of them mentioned minimum hours. A couple of companies mentioned minimum weekly take. Some mentioned training. You're going to get on-site training all the time. Some of them were saying that they'll support your training or your university qualifications going forward. So I think it is very geared, as I expected, to entry stuff. And even me, very forward thinking, talking to everyone, I managed to get 2 CVs to people and 1 interview out of about 40 companies. And it's just, I don't think they're prepared for someone like this. So even softening myself down was quite difficult. But yeah, for me, it was good to learn. I'm glad I helped the charitable arm of that company, and I do suggest entry to maybe just above entry level. Or if someone wants to change careers, start at the bottom, make your way up. You got to do it. You got to do it. So book yourself in, and I hope that helped everyone. Speak to you all soon. Bye bye.